Aujourd'hui, je vais vous parler d'un dispositif.
Greetings to every 2CV drivers, 2CV lovers out there. This is Alain and his 2CV Charleston 1987 and his garage, and today he would like to introduce you to his intermittent wiper module, which he developed with a friend, and it's an adjustable intermittent wiping system which is meant to be fitted on the current system as a parallel, so it doesn't require major changes, no splicing, no cutting. It's very simple, as he will demonstrate later. The intermittent is adjustable, so basically you can dial up to 12 seconds between each strike, and all this happens by just a turn of a button. Very, very simple. And let's get started by lifting the wipers themselves, and let's go through it. So let's talk about positioning the module. Most people would be pretty pleased and happy with having it fitted next to the knob that allows you to adjust the headlight. In my case, I have a couple of switches there for accessories, so I will put it somewhere else, but most people would be happy with that. You can use the square metal reinforcements underneath the dashboard in order to fit the module using a couple of screws and the actual plastic tab that allows you to position into place. It's also very easy to reach to operate, but in my case, this is where I'm going to put it, on the plastic 2CV club type dashboard, for easy access, obviously. The module is supplied with sufficient amount of wires, so should you wish to position it somewhere else, this should be an easy task, considering the length of wires. Just it's ample. You should have plenty of it. As per the instructions supplied, the first thing that needs to be wired in is the actual electronic module itself. A, as per the diagram, is the earth. B is the live positive. So you need to find a good ground, such as the metal dashboard. That's a suitable ground. In my case here, I can't use the fastening screws because it's fitted on the plastic dashboard, so in this case it's not suitable, but underneath the dashboard seems to be a pretty good spot, making sure that the terminal really rubs against bare metal and not just paint, and you should be good with that. Then wire labeled B is the live wire. Needs to be connected to one of the 3 wires available from behind the ignition module. You need to figure out which is only powered when the key is on, in order to prevent having the module connected at all time, which would actually probably deteriorate it and drain the battery. So zooming in closer, you can see where I fitted the ground, just underneath the dashboard, as per mentioned before, and the wire B, which is a live wire, needs to go in one of those wires, and the one you need is the yellow one. So you need to unplug the yellow one and plug in the one coming from the module, and then connect the original yellow wire back to the to the female connector supplied alongside the B wire that you just connected to make your life easier. Then all you have to do is just tuck the wires in so it looks clean and tidy, and then I shall just get on and demonstrate it to you. So let's turn the ignition on and then turn on the module, like so. You can actually hear it clicking. Then turn the ignition back off and the module is then off. Now let's move on to the 3 other wires, which is the next task. These 3 wires basically need to go to where the current wiper switch is, and so you need to run those wires behind wherever you can, and in order to make sure that the wires can actually stick out from the hole on which the wiper switch is fitted. So let's begin by removing the actual switch. In my case, it's one of those rectangular switch. Some 2CVs are fitted with a rotary switch. The plugs might be slightly different, but the 3 wires and the principle remains the same. But before trying to figure out what does what, I'm going to run my wires with an actual little rod or something through or behind the dashboard in order for them to be driven through the switch hole. Okay, now that this is done, go back to the instruction, and we need to figure out what does what in order to connect the wires correctly. The live wire is the one we want to find first, and according to the original 2CV diagram, the yellow is the one that we want right now. You can easily double check that the yellow wire is indeed the live wire by using just a simple multimeter or voltmeter. And don't forget that the live wire is only live when the ignition is turned on, so turn it on and check that indeed the yellow wire is the one you want. So as you can see, I have 12 volts, almost 12 volts displayed, so the yellow wire is the one we want. The next one we need to figure out is the wire that is responsible for the parking, the auto parking wiper system. So to find which of the 2 remaining wires is the one responsible for parking, you basically need to turn on the wipers, and you need to remove one of the 2 wires. The one responsible for parking will not stop the wipers. So if you unplug a wire and the wire stops, then you know that's the other one that you want. And if the wipers just carries on spinning, then you got the right wire. So in my case, it's the white one. Once I figured this out, I could just turn everything off and then proceed with whatever comes next. So the yellow wire goes where the original yellow wire is, and the original wire goes to that double 20 blade terminal supplied with the module, as you can see on the video. So the original and the new wire are connected one next to each other. A little tie wrap between those 2 would probably prevent those wires to come off and make the fitting a bit more secure. So now that the feed wire is done, we can use the white wire that we've identified earlier for responsible for parking. Those 2 remaining wires, one is male, one is female. So use the female one to connect it to the existing switch next to the the remaining wire there, and the male one goes to the actual plug that you've unplugged, the original one, in order to create that loop.
Vous devrez seulement que brancher l'alimentation sur le fil d'alimentation.
Should your 2CV be fitted with one of those two-wire switch, then in this case, number 3 wire, the male one, is redundant. You're just going to have to tape it in and leave it there. Otherwise, the feed is just fitted as we proceeded before.
Vous attacherez avec du tape tout simplement parce que lui, il ne servira pas. Moi, ce que je vous conseille de faire, c'est d'ajouter un connecteur de...
As per a rotary switch is concerned, they do not have those blade connectors. They have those bullet connectors, I think they're called. So you're going to have to replace, obviously, the connectors for to fit the original rotary switch your 2CV might be fitted with. So before tucking in the wires, we need to make sure that everything works as planned. So let's get on with it. So let's turn the ignition on and turn on the wipers, and as you can see, they are working just as they would normally. Okay, now let's turn them off, and now we're going to be using the actual module, the intermittent wiper module. So you turn on the module by rotating the knob clockwise just a little bit, and as you can see, it turns on the wipers at the faster speed. Rotate the knob a bit more, and you can see that the pause actually increases as you turn the knob further. And as per mentioned before, the longest pause is actually 12 seconds. And should you need the wipers on continually, as just as they would from factory, then just activate your original switch and the wipers will operate. As they would normally, without any pause. So let's tuck those wires in. Tie wraps comes very handy to do a clean job, and a little tape to make it a bit more secure. Probably not all that necessary, but you know, never know. Then very, very gently just run those wires back to where they're from, inside the hole, in order to fasten the switch back in its slot. Then you need to tidy up the wires from underneath in order to make a clean installation without any wires just hanging off. That's kind of unsightly. And then let's test the system once more. We turn the ignition on, turn the wipers on, it's working. And then let's turn on the module itself to test if the intermittent wipers are indeed working. So as you can see, that's the fastest. And then finally, you probably wonder where to find this module. So I'm going to be displaying my email address down the bottom of the screen in a minute. And but some major 2CV part supplier might be selling my module, as I will be in touch with them shortly. I am not in a position to ship those modules myself directly to every single one of you, but just drop me an email and we can figure something out. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy your 2CV and drive carefully. Bye.